Yay! We are here. Welcome, everybody. I appreciate you guys for being here. You guys are amazing. You ain't had to be here, but you are. Let's see. There we go. We have a lot going on. What? Grant, what are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's my Wi-Fi. It's not me. I promise. I promise. I wasn't even trying to be on this type of craziness today. You got Zen Grant. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make some apple cider drinks and chill out. What up, y'all?
Do you got it together now?
Yes. I hope. Hopefully, we gonna see. We gonna see. Right. We gonna see.
We gonna see.
Yeah. We got the ingredients here.
Is that a cinnamon or cinnamon stick, or is that cinnamon?
It's cinnamon sticks. Cinnamon
Okay.
sticks. We got the apple cider. We got some bourbon. Can't put the redacted. They ain't sponsoring us for the stream,
That's
so
true.
you know.
If there's
We
no
got bourbon.
sponsor,
You know what I'm saying?
you got some brown liquor.
Yeah, I was gonna do this today. My girlfriend got back from like a work retreat. We are like, yo, let's just do something, and she was gonna do sake at this ramen spot, but it was gonna be like $500. Like we were buying a bottle of from the club. So we said, yeah, let's just not.
Yeah,
Let's just not.
yeah. Don't do that. Don't do
We
that.
gonna make some at home.
Which
Let me
makes.
get a pop.
Listen, I support that. Make it at home. Make it at home.
DIY, right? DIY.
Yeah, there's no reason to ever do anything else. Did I? Hold on. So, Grant,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where did the name Grant Sounds come from?
Let's get into it. So, a lot of times I say my name is Grant Sounds, singer songwriter with If the Shoe Fits. I'm a rapper on Twitch. A big part of that is If the Shoe Fits itself. ITSF, or it's the Shoe Fits Collective, is a rap group that I made with 3 of my other friends from my hometown way back in the day in like 2011. It started. Where we didn't even have a name, but we were just chopping it up, rapping about whatever. And I think my name back then was BSAP Brody because ASAP Rocky was really popular at the time. So I just wanted something that was kind of similar. So I went with that moniker for a while until we graduated college. We all still were rapping individually, and we kind of graduated, all of us, and we were like, yo, like, I really love making music, and also I really hate the options that we have, just like living this like 9 to 5 lifestyle with like no reprieve. So we all were kind of like, you know what, let's take this rap thing serious. So we switched the name, and and like I thought of the name If the Shoe Fits, and then from there it kind of was like, all right, I got to change my own personal name. So there's a story around this on how it actually changed.
Okay.
Yeah, so here's the actual like story. Basically, we're at an open mic because, like we said, we were performing. Like I said, we were performing for a while where we were making music, and it wasn't even out yet. But just we were performing the music at open mics, at people's house parties, and things like that, just to kind of grow the brand before we kind of even knew what we wanted to do. So, is that when we got to this spot, we were chopping it up with like a ton of people that were in this line. You only got like 7 minutes in the set or whatever. So there was just filing people in off the stage, off the stage, on the stage, off the stage. So we're chopping up with this dude. He's so cool. I couldn't really see his shirt because this is dark like spot. It's the Delancey Uptown, if anybody's familiar. Shout out my New Yorkers. But like we over there like at this like dark under spot of Delancey. Like if you have you been there before, Faye girl?
No.
Yeah, so it's a really nice spot. It's a really nice spot. We got to go one day. But basically, we pull up over there, and this dude is chopping up with us. I didn't see what his t-shirt says. We get to the front, and I ask him what his name is, and he says it's Ursa Major. And at the time, in this transition period of when I was like trying to figure out what my name was, Ursa Major was like the thing that I was using because I was trying to find this kind of like deep esoteric connection. I was on my conscious rap-ish, you know what I'm saying? I was like 7 Pleiades, Ursa Major. My favorite number was 7. People always used to call me a bear in school type, so I thought Ursa Major was my name too. But then right in front of me was this dude named Ursa Major. And what I learned at that time is that some people will take monikers way more serious, which is why like I had to find Grant at a certain sense, because he got on stage, he had an Ursa Major t-shirt on, he was singing songs about the planets and the sky and moons, travel and all that stuff. And literally after he went on, we were all clapping. I was like, yo, that was crazy. And we hopped on stage. My boy was like, yo, my name is Catharsis, what's good? My other boy was like, yo, I'm Candace Speaks. And I was like, yo, what's good? I'm the artist formerly named as Ursa Major. Ursa Major's over there. All right, let's get to this music. I got on that stage without a name, and I left kind of like, okay, I can still rock it. I'll figure it out after. So, yeah. So later on, I took some time, and Grant is my middle name. And so I was like, you know what? Let me just call myself Grant Sounds, because Sounds is the base of, like, you know, the name. Mm-hmm. And nobody can take away my middle name. So I was like, hey, I'll never run into that situation again. So, yeah, that's why my name is Grant Sounds.
No, listen, I understand that. Like, you don't want anybody to be able to take away from your name.
Absolutely.
So you almost were Ursa Major.
Ursa Major, yeah. Started as B-Sat Brody, then transitioned to Ursa Major for like maybe a year or two, and then became Grant Sounds. Here now, forever.
Here now and forever you shall be.
Indeed. Tough me. You old with it.
You've been Grant Sounds for how many years now? How long has it been?
That's true. I gotta say, like, something I commonly do. I even did this at Christmas, which is so awkward. Like I was meeting my cousin's boyfriend, and I was like, "What's good?" And I introduced myself as Grant, because how often, like in life now, like I'll meet people as in the space of, like, I guess content creation or music. So it just makes more sense for me to introduce myself as my moniker, to the point where like sometimes I forget to turn it off. It's not even like a grandiose thing. It's just I'm just so used to saying it, you know?
Yeah, I just introduce myself as Victoria. I'm like thinking, I don't introduce myself as Fangirl or Fangirl Review. It's always, even in this space, I say, oh yeah, I'm Victoria of Fangirl Review.
I think it's probably because Grant is such, like, it sounds like a regular name.
Yeah.
So people just think it's my actual name. So there's never that question of like, well, what's your real name? Like a lot of people are obviously like, oh my gosh, like your name is Kendall, but it's not even like something I've ever hit. Like if you can see it like in a lot of stuff.
It's there.
It's there. You know, it's there, but it's easier because I know even at parties, because I'm tall and I'll try to communicate with people. For those who are, this the fridge. I'm tall, so when I'm communicating with people,
listen.
And
now finish that comment, and I'm gonna talk about your height. Finish that comment.
I was saying I'm tall, so when I'm at a party and I'm talking to someone, oftentimes they'll be like at a lower height. But the issue is more so because there's sound in the skies and everywhere. I have to say my name like 4 or 5 times. So saying Kendall, like people are like Kenneth, Kenny, Cortland. So I'm like, it's Grant. My name is Grant now. And 10 out of 10 times, nobody messes that up. So that's it. You know?
No, listen, I understand that. Hey, Prime, I appreciate you for being here. Welcome in, Guru, my mod. How are you, lovey? So I had a chance to meet Grant in person. I think you're now, of the few people I've actually interviewed, you're one of the few that I actually have gotten to meet in person.
Yes.
It was at New York Comic Con last year. No, the year before, because we're in 2023. Yeah. So 2021.
It feels like it.
I know. And let me tell you, it was Grant Sounds, Retro Greg, and I Villainous.
Squad.
And then there was me. Now, mind you, I am older than all of them. Okay? But they are all tall. I think Retro Greg was the tallest out of all of y'all.
Yeah, to Greg. Greg surprised me. That dude's tall.
He is super tall. And then there was me at 5'5". So I look like, even though I'm older than all of them, I look like their little cousin that they had to bring along with them. Because that's what the aunties had told them. Take your cousin with you. I was the little cousin.
Go to that little anime thing they doing down at the Jefferson.
Yeah, take your cousin with you. Make sure they don't get themselves in trouble. Hey, Hands, what's good? Welcome in. I appreciate you. Dinner now. Time for cleanup. Listen, I understand that. I didn't clean up from dinner yet. But yes. So I was a little cousin that they let come play with them. If I had a chance, I would have pulled up the picture of that, but I didn't think about it. Yeah.
It's all good. We doing this live.
Yes, exactly. So, my short... Actually, I think you have your own sound.
Say again?
I think you have right? You have a sound.
Yeah, I do have the Nemesis sound for you, for obvious reasons.
But where's my sound alerts? There you are. Can I use my own? Can I do it myself? Let's go! Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about Animal Crossing. I can't wait.
There you go. Yes. I lurk in people's streams, and when they say my name in a cool way, I steal it and say
it. Girl.
So I have you, Hans, Pack, and It's Lady Kit. There was somebody else I had saved, and I gotta make SB sing his friend song, but just with my name, not other people.
It's special.
Yeah. He just don't know it yet. I just gotta tell him. That's what he gonna do. But I appreciate you guys for being here. I am here with the amazing Grant Sounds. Here's a link to his Twitch. You can check him out. We're dancing? We're dancing? Is that
you were giving introduction. What am I supposed to stand there like this and be like,
Yes, that's exactly how you're supposed to. Okay. So we are at that point because, you talked about where your name came from, which I think everybody loves to learn about. You need that I Got Friends MP3. Listen, I got friends. Listen, I want my own. But this is the point in the Gamer Corner, which has been around for 10 years. It's 10 years strong. It just went for the first year, and then it took a hiatus for 9 years, and then it's back. So, why do you have a letter B on there?
Bramble, last name.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I'm like...
Yeah.
Okay.
I should find the
It's back like we never left. Exactly. 2 truths and a lie. That is our icebreaker. Did you prepare a 2 truths and a lie?
2 truths and a lie. I can give you 2 truths and a lie easily. So Um, let's say, give me 5, 4,
So you didn't
3,
prepare. Okay, go ahead.
2, 1. You're absolutely correct, but you know me already.
I know you, but we're not at that point where we're gonna talk about that.
All right, bet. 2 truths and a lie. Okay.
2 truths and a lie.
Let's say I've been watching anime since I was in middle school.
Okay.
I played sports in college on scholarship, and I have performed at the Barclays Center and the Nassau Coliseum musically.
I'm gonna say the second one is a lie.
The first one is a lie.
What was the first one?
I've been watching anime since elementary school.
Since elementary school, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's middle school for you? I guess I should have defined that part.
Middle is what, 6th grade? 6th grade? I started watching anime.
Okay, I just kind of think of that as elementary school, but we didn't really define what grades. Because like 7th grade is junior high, and then there's high school, but we didn't really define what is elementary. If there's a middle school, do you consider middle school? But okay.
That's true. Oh, this is hot. This is hot.
Yes, be careful.
I'm trying to do it on screen so you guys can see my skills, but like, you see? I'm not. There we go.
You spilled a little. I see you.
I thought we could just ignore it.
No,
you know?
I seen it, and now don't burn yourself. So be careful.
Yeah, I will do. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers. Bloop. My tea is still too hot.
Ooh, yeah, that's too hot.
Let me wipe up. Peas in the Pot is in my chat. Hi.
Hello.
She my friend now.
Oh my gosh. After what you just said.
She my friend now.
That's so
after
crazy.
The fire. Don't talk about the fire. We're not talking about the fire. Why does everybody keep bringing up the fire?
Oh yeah.
We're not talking about that. That is not on.
You know what? This is now the Grand Sounds interview with Fangirl.
No.
Fangirl, how do you feel about the fire incident?
No. Listen, we're not talking about that. Welcome in, Oolong. I appreciate you. It's been a minute. I hope all is well. Hope you're doing amazing. And we're not talking about the fire.
Oh my god.
However, a friend of mine who, like, she also knows I'm obsessed with rubber duckies, and she made rubber duckies for my birthday cake for my 30th birthday, and it was really cool, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you know, like the mini, like those mini toys? Like, they'll have, like, mini, like, hot sauce, mini ketchup, mini, you know? Like,
yeah.
So they recently released a miniature cafe series, and you actually, like, make the food and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's not edible, but it's cute.
That sounds fire.
Yeah, so...
Can you bring me through? I'm back at my desk.
Okay.
Alright, 1 second.
Alright, and we're back. Cool.
He all over the place, y'all. He traveling. Sam the Manga Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody for being here. You good? You set up?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You straight? And you're not going to spin on your chair and fall?
Nope, not at all. No, we're not spinning in chairs. That's I think that's a retired era of Grand Sounds.
Is it?
Yes. Yes. As per management.
As per management.
Yeah.
Even though
stop spinning.
We all had to, like, spin in our chairs for, like, your birthday card.
Listen,
year.
It wasn't me that told you to do that. Listen.
We still spun in our chairs.
I know, I appreciate y'all. I was like, wow, I really love y'all because y'all just as crazy as me. But now I realize that, like, you know, sometimes
Sometimes less.
If you're the person that's jumping off the bridge, and then someone's gonna be like, "Are you gonna jump off because you saw Grant jump off?" And the answer is yes. I'm like, yeah, but like when it's something like spinning in your chair, we should protect our bodies more.
So we can jump off a bridge, but not spin in a chair.
Yeah. Jump off a bridge with me, but don't spin in no chairs. That's the message.
No, Han said you need to spin at least once per quarter.
Where are these quotas coming from? This is crazy. This is crazy.
It's set. Listen.
You spin in a chair once, and then you could never live without spinning in a chair. All right, I could live off a one spin quota without hurting myself. More than one, we just
but don't stay low. Keep your center of gravity low. Don't be like up high. Like get down low and hold on.
I mean, look,
spin.
I'm an expert in this. I know how to spin. I know what good form is. You know,
but you fell.
Get my level low.
The rest of us didn't.
That was the first time.
But that's all it takes. Is one time. We don't have spin chair insurance. Jumping off is much more thrilling for the risk. Spinning isn't the same thrill and easily painful.
Twitch, facts. Twitch ain't giving me no insurance, y'all. That's the truth. You know, I try to have a real beautiful esoteric thing for it, but Twitch ain't giving me no insurance, so I hurt myself. They ain't paying my medical bill. They ain't even paying for the damn AC filter that exposed. That was dirty. We had to do that ourselves.
I can't.
We had to fix that.
You had to fix that.
We got exposed.
Okay. So I know you were a musician.
Yes. Yes, I am.
But what got you into like streaming content creation? Like, was that part of it, or was it like a separate thing? Like, what got you over into that?
So the way that my mind works, right? It's like the best example is that like I have hats that I put on, and these hats can be stacked on top of each other. Sometimes because they stack, they make new hats. You know what I'm saying? So they boom, 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 boom. So there's music, there's streaming, there's event curating, there's management, there's like art, like just being an artist in terms of like graphic art. So there's like a lot of different facets that I feel like really speak to me. But I think the main thing that kind of got me into streaming was Clubhouse. Clubhouse was a huge proponent of me getting into this space because that was actually my first time getting into what I coined active entertainment, which is kind of this realm of entertainment that we live in. That's kind of novel, where we have Clubhouse, we have Twitter Spaces, we have Twitch, we have sometimes people do YouTube lives, where it's essentially, you know, someone holds a space and people can tune in and get immediate experience instead of, you know, getting a formulated, more programmed experience. Like you're getting someone do this like as like a live broadcast. And it's interesting because, you know, since like we haven't had like the whole like live studio audience TV feel since we transitioned to YouTube, this is kind of like the closest thing we really have to that vibe.
Yeah.
So it really kind of touches deep to a lot of people's like raw experiences of what they want in terms of like an experience, and it speaks to me highly. So essentially what happened is that I did Clubhouse for a long time. I started in 2020 and I did it for about 2 years or so. Along the end of the 2 years, I was kind of looking for another path to go because I realized I just didn't really enjoy this space as much as I did because of a lot of different facets we can get into or not get into. But basically because of that, I was like, I really wanted another path to go into, and streaming was there. You know, it was something I always thought of, like, yo, I should be on Twitch, I should do this. But only after getting the validation of others through Clubhouse was I confident enough to be like, you know what, I could hold this space of my own, on my own, and it could be successful. And here we are with the shoebox.
Yay. Okay, why the shoebox?
Oh, so fun fact. Shout out DJ Elise NYC. She's one of my good sisters on this platform, but also just a good friend that I've known literally like since forever. We went to high school together, and she was on this platform streaming her like DJ sets, just like, you know, live DJ sets where she'll even have other popular DJs in NYC come into her apartment, and they'll just stream like them going back to back playing music. And it was one of the first communities I joined on Twitch. So for her to like kind of bring me in, and then also kind of be there for me and be present because she enjoyed the experience so early. One of the first things I would just joke around with, I was like, guys, we need a space, we need a name for this space. And since, you know, we have If the Shoe Fits, and we call ourselves interchangeably the Shoe Boys, she said you should call it the Shoe Box. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. You know, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I was like, it needs like some sort of deep esoteric name. So I strapped this from it. I said, you know, back in the day, a shoebox, like in a colloquial sense, used to be a place where we put our most coveted items, our Beyblades, our shoelaces, our $20, $40 we got from grandma for Christmas, maybe a bag of weed that we got when we was in high school or we shouldn't have, you know, stuff like that. It was kept in the shoebox under the bed, most coveted items. So I kind of switched it where, you know, the most coveted items that we have in the shoebox is like ourselves, where, you know, it's the relationships that we have, the different interconnected communities that have grown through the shoebox.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like the most important essence to like the community that I created, because it's just filled with other awesome curators and content creators.
No, that's so cool. Peas in a Pod says shoebox times 4.
Shoebox. That's what she said.
And Guru said, I love that. It's like a treasure box, and now it's still a treasure box. Bearded Baritone is in the chat. I appreciate you, Bearded. When are you going to be on the show?
How are you today?
Look at your schedule.
I love that man's voice.
Yeah. There's so many people I want to have on here. It's just, there's not enough time. But she said, I don't want to burn out, so I do it on here a couple times a week.
Shoot.
So.
I'll tell you what. Burnout is real.
Burnout is real. It's and it's hard to dodge, so you gotta like know when to cut things short and early, know when to walk away.
Yep.
And be like, you know what? Y'all see me next week, but y'all won't see me the week after.
Exactly.
So it's like taking care of yourself and setting healthy boundaries. Yes.
Energy is so important, and I think to be truthful, there's just a lot of like I'm to be honest, like the reason why I said we can get into it and not get into it, literally on that same point, to be completely real, I burnt out a Clubhouse, and that's how I got into Twitch. I burnt the fuck out. Yeah. I was doing Clubhouse for can I curse on here? I'm sorry.
You can, just don't say the N-word.
Okay, say absolutely no problem. But I kind of burnt out, kind of going through the monotonous practices that I was going through, and also there was there was like a feeling conjunctive with that, like of where I was kind of just I felt like a lot of the energy that I originally provided into the space was siphoned. So when I was left with kind of the husk of what my original idea of what it was is, I kind of was left with nothing else to do besides just leave. And leave I did. And it wasn't kind of like a leave where I was like, yo, I'm taking everything with me. It was kind of just like, you know, at a certain point, I'm just not going to put my energy into this space any longer.
Yeah.
And where that was something that I feel like some people would have admonished or disliked, because especially since, you know, there's a ton of people even in the Twitch space that came from Clubhouse with me. It's just like, you know, I just can't do things like to that end, you know, where I was on a platform for 16 hours and I feel like I wasn't really getting any personal gain from it. You know, there's a limit to where you feel like, you know, I'm doing this for my community, and you stop doing it for you, and that's like, it stops being fun at that point, you know, like you don't really enjoy it to the same end. And when that happens, I feel like it's the quick road to burnout and self-sabotage for real, and that's even worse.
No, that's very true. It's very true. You gotta take care of yourself. Bearded said, if it isn't Tom Nook live and on the show.
I got you.
That's true. I did see that cosplay.
I got a whole slew of hats in the back. You know what I'm saying? I could throw on. You know what I'm saying? It's Grand Nook in the building. You feel me?
We gonna talk about that. Don't worry, y'all. Hold on, cause y'all gotta be here for. Actually, it's probably like in a question or two. Actually, is there any content that you would like to make in the future? Your hopes, your dreams.
There's so
Future
much content.
I know.
In 2023, I feel like you guys will see a ton of different content coming from me. I think the work that I'm doing with Slice of Anime right now. Shout out my Slice of Anime squad. Shout out Uncle Cosmos. That's his baby. I'm just Slice of Anime's uncle, but I love that baby like it's mine. Aww. I say that all the time. But you know, you guys will see a lot of different different pieces of content of me hosting different things, me interviewing other people, kind of like you are interviewing me. So it's kind of I want to get into a lot of more ranges of, I guess not like what you would say is like professional content, because I think that's kind of like a little bit elitist, but more so kind of content that shows my experience in the game. Yes. Where it's kind of like a less of me having fun and me more so showing off the experience that I can provide, you know, like just in the level, because I really would love to have a lot more opportunities come in, and just the level of opportunity that I would like, I just need a little bit more of a resume. So this is the year for me to grow that.
All right, listen, the year of growth. Let's grow. Let's show it. Indeed. Listen, I understand, because Lord knows I get an idea in my head, and I'm like, you know what I should do? I'm going to do it.
Yep.
And then, bam, I have an award show. Because that's how ridiculous I am. So, listen.
And it was fire, too.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support in helping me promote it. Listen, because I got stories, but those are all back stories. I ain't gonna say them on air.
Oh yeah,
the background stories.
Of course. Yeah, of course. I know. I can only imagine. Just, I feel like 2022 was a real collaborative year. Yes. In the physical space, and somewhat in like the internet space, where I kind of took a step back from collaborating with people towards the end of 2022. And in the physical space, like we were just doing collabs like a ton. Where we did a dope event with Toasty Marshmallow. We had a weed mingle event at Brooklyn.
Oh yeah.
And we did some stuff with Land Party. We did some stuff with a couple different spaces in like New York. So we basically took a lot of time to curate and help like uplift the anime space that we have in New York, and the people who love video games that exist in New York, to kind of provide more events and spaces for people to come together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the crazy thing that I realized in that space is that like, wow, like it was such a less of a shit show because everybody stayed in their lane. And I mean that not in like a like stay in your lane, like you have 5,000 followers, I have 10,000 followers, you are small influencer, I am big influencer. Like no, more so like people are like, I am a director and I like to make videos, I like to do this. I exist in a space like this. I'm not trying to be on stage being an MC. I'm not trying to make sure that my friends get in. Like it's like, you know, people aren't trying to put themselves in places so they can be seen. People are trying to do things that they would like to do and wish to provide to the community. So with that, you have a lot less stepping on toes, and even beyond that, you have way more authentic spaces. Like
Thank you.
Like
yes.
I think that's like a big thing. I feel like that kind of keeps me in a lot of places where it's like it got to feel real to me. Like if it don't feel real and it feels like fictitious in a sense, it just makes me kind of run away. Like, and honestly, that's really what happened like in platforms before. It's just if it becomes like a fest of like, hey, I'm just trying to like consume as much clout as I can and get to the top, I'm like, man, I don't think that's a competition that could ever be won, you know?
Nope.
Like I'd rather just chill. And I think showing off that experience is way more than enough.
Exactly. I think Guru said align with authenticity, just uplifting, supporting each other, creating spaces. Y'all can create some of these spaces like during the day for me, so when I come over, because I'm not showing up at 9-10 o'clock at night in the city over here. I'm not.
Listen, I feel it.
Because, you know,
I feel it.
First of all, I more likely would like to take the train. So if y'all can have like a day party, that would be helpful for me.
We do those in the summertime. So we actually have an event series we've been doing for about 7 years called Beats of the Garden. It's done at this garden in Bushwick, where it starts at like maybe like 3 p.m., 4 p.m., maybe even earlier, like 2. And basically it's like a huge garden. They built a whole like stage like at the venue. So we essentially just have people come in. We invite vendors in the space, and we kind of just, you know.
So what you're saying is that I can set up like a little table with my crochet stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
At next event, you will have a table.
Okay. I'm there.
You were there.
I am there.
W.
Yes, and Brooklyn's right across the bridge for me. It's right there.
Hell yeah.
So it's easy for me to get to. Yes, and resin earrings. I'll have my earrings. Hey. I'll have crochet stuff. I'll have all the stuff. A cheesecake stand was there. Well, I'm always here for cheesecake. I like to eat cheesecake while I watch Golden Girls.
Oh yeah, so one of my bandmates, he has a friend in college that has like a cheesecake brand that he started, where he has kind of like this traveling bakery. Basically, I don't know if they have like a brick and mortar spot yet, but like basically they sell the cheesecakes at every event, and they're just different level of good. I
love a cheesecake. Because I'm like, you know what? Ooh, a cheesecake. Yes, I'll have cheesecake. It's a simple food done right. So I'm here for it. I am here for it. Okay. Oh, Lisa, I appreciate you for being here. You popped in with the cheesecake. I understand that. It always hits. All right. Now, y'all, I'll be judging this cheesecake now. What is your first memory of gaming? I know because you talked about like when you first started watching anime, but we're gonna go over to the gaming life.
Yeah, you know, I'm deeply connected to gaming more than anime because gaming started earlier. I think my first run-in with gaming was actually one of my first like core memories. Like I remember my aunt giving my cousin's hand-me-down N64 to us in like a laundry bin, and it had like a couple random games in it, and there was like some controllers that worked and some that didn't work, and like that was like our first console like that we ever had, and from then on we were Nintendo fanboys, to that point where I remember maybe a little bit later, well, my brother already had a Game Boy Color at that time. Okay. But then I got a Game Boy Color of my own maybe a year later, and I didn't even know how to read at that time. But I learned how to read playing Pokemon, straight up.
See?
Just off of trying to understand the text and trying to understand what was going on and playing all these random games and trying to get from menu to menu. Like video games actually kind of was the thing where like I just had this solitary experience where I was able to learn patterns and to learn like, you know, strategy just on my own. So yeah, I feel like video games, yeah, it gotta be before elementary school. Like I was a wee lad. Wee lad.
Wee lad? When you was a
shout
youngin'?
Out Nintendo. Yeah, shout out Nintendo.
Listen,
I've been a Nintendo fanboy since
Nintendo definitely really started a lot of us our love for video games. I did my first introduction to video games was like my aunt and uncle's Atari, and then we had a Nintendo. I was the Sega girl in the house, so I had the Sega. My brother had the Nintendo. Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. We had a Sega CD.
Oh, that's tough.
And mind you, all this stuff is still like at my parents' house, like in like a box in the basement.
Those are relics now. Those, because they're expensive nowadays to actually get. So I usually play emulators on my computer because I think kind of reliving those games, like it just feels really good to play those games sometimes.
NES. Friday the 13th. Me and Jason are still beefing to this day. Okay? I have
those
never
games were hard.
I have never beat that game. Me and him
those
still
games are
beefing.
Hard.
And
like NES and SNES, they did not hold hands. Like games
No.
in today,
No.
like you go a wrong way, they'll be like, "Oops, sorry. I
That's
guess
it.
I have to go figure out something else." Like these games, no. You got
Yeah.
3 lives. There's a score that God knows what does what to increase the score. And if you lose, you lose, and you got to play the whole game back again. It's not even like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna bring you back to the level." No, we're bringing you back to level 1. I don't care if you're on level 27, you about to beat the game. We're bringing you back to 1. Like,
yeah.
That's
so,
cruel.
Speaking of like Retro Greg, watching him play Zelda 2,
oh
he
my gosh.
hated that game. I love that game, but to play it now as an adult and you didn't play it originally,
infuriating.
That game is insanity.
It's infuriating.
And I'm like, no, go this way. No, you got to turn into a fairy now. And then fly across. Like, there was stuff. And he hated every aspect of it and threw it in the trash. But it was such a good game back then. But again, you were basically on your own. And there wasn't the internet. There wasn't YouTube to help you when you got stuck.
There wasn't YouTube.
It was more intuitive back then.
There's such an, like, I feel like there's such like an aesthetic kind of to that time, because there wasn't YouTube, but there was game FAQs, and you had Game Informer magazines, and you had these places where you had to find these like gems to be able to beat these games, where you had no idea until you were just bestowed somehow through life the information. Where like now, if we want to beat any game, you could Google it and you can get the answer like this. Where like another time you had to go to the library, or you had to wait for a Scholastic book fair to like buy a game guide in order to beat the game. Like that took so much more time. So when you talk about like replay value, or how much or how long it took to play games, it took so much longer back in the day. Like, gosh, I could just see little fangirl messing around with Freddy, trying to get away, just like,
listen,
let me go.
Listen, because like it was 6 characters, 3 boys, 3 girls, and of the 3, each one you had one that could move fast. Was a medium speed, like I guess like just a regular player, and then 2 slow ones. 2 slow ones, usually you sacrifice them, they can die quick. And my girl Debbie, she was medium. She couldn't move fast, but she could move. And I was like, you know what? They keep talking about this stupid torch, and I took the time to go to every single cabin, the long cabin, and you had to light the fireplace in every single long cabin. But you had to at least have the machete. You had to have at least that weapon.
All the different conditions that you had to have.
And so at that point you had to make sure you go and you had to kill Freddy's mom, her little floating head, and she'd be like, whatever. And
and I bet the music was going crazy.
Yes, that's
like going crazy
exactly
through the NES. You're like, oh man, like I'm.
And so now I finally got the torch, and you can jack him up. I made it to day 3. You got to beat him on day 3. Every day he gets faster, super fast, and he'd be like whoosh whoosh, like just takes you out. He can catch you on the street. So like the little zombie people, they'd be walking, and then all of a sudden they will stop, and the screen won't move anymore, and they will turn away from you and walk off the screen. Now you know you're just about to show up and whip your behind. And that's what he did. He whooped my behind on the street, and I died, and then I said, screw you! And I didn't pick it up again.
If you go back to your parents' house, like you said, and you find that individual game broken in half, now you know why.
Now you know why. Deuce Man! Hi, Deuce Man. I see you. I appreciate you, boo. But yeah, listen. Yeah, no, Myst was another one. I got stuck in the tree for a second there on Myst, and for whatever reason, it wouldn't come back down until finally, like, one day it did. I was like, okay. Listen.
You just had to wait.
Listen.
Hopefully figure it out with those games, for real. Like, Yeah,
So,
you just hope and pray.
speaking of frustrations with gaming,
Yeah.
let's talk about our relationship. Now, I met Grant via Clubhouse in the BTC room. Yeah, I don't think I knew you before BTC. There was a few people I met before BTC and all the stuff that happened led to BTC. But I met you after. I met you in BTC. And I was like, oh, this individual seems cool. I'm definitely going to follow, support. That's the one thing I'm always going to support, uplift, whatever you need. I got you. And then I realized, oh, he likes Animal Crossing too, which is another thing that we all were playing during lockdown. Animal Crossing came out at the perfect time. Nintendo, y'all smart. And I was like, oh, he builds too. I'm a builder. I'm a designer. Let's have a competition. And dear Grant was like, sure. And I was doing that over on the Athena Alliance channel. And I was like, it's Christmas. We're going to have a Christmas holiday build. And I was like, okay, Grant, you know, these are the rules. You can build in design any room in your house. You're going to build during the stream. You cannot pre-build. But you can definitely collect all your items. You can customize all your items beforehand. And I gave him, I think, at least a month time. So you have time, like, you know, pull everything together. Grant shows up with nothing together.
It was rigged. It was rigged.
He showed up with nothing. He had a month,
it was rigged.
Showed up with nothing. And he said, oh, no. I got a plan. I'm going to go to these treasure islands and I'm going to get stuff. But the problem with treasure islands is that everyone else is going there. So as you're trying to go there, it's like doo-doo-doo, and then there's another airplane flying over, doo-doo-doo, another airplane flying over. So his time is like trickling down to nothing.
I was stuck in transit a lot. Yes.
Yeah, he was stuck in transit. You know what I'm saying? He kept missing his flights, in and out. Okay, I appreciate you, Guru. Yeah, peas in the pod. You was there. You understand. You know your man. You know your man. So he finally gets some stuff together. He cobbled something together. It ain't come together for him. And so round one goes to Fangirl. How was it rigged? You had the same amount of time I did.
Some say it was rigged.
I even had a present under the tree for him.
Go ask some. Some say it was rigged.
I don't know who this some. You can't be you. You know, it can't be you. It can't be you. Anyway, so that was December, right? He lost. He lost bad. So it was like, all right. And this is like, we're like, oh yeah, we gotta definitely have another one. You know, rematch. Got you. And I was like, oh, bet. Let's do a Black History Month build. So now we're coming up February. So this is December, coming up February. I was like, Grant, don't do what you did last time. We talked about it like 6 weeks ahead of time. Grant.
We did.
Go get your stuff. Plan. Think about it. Again, same rules. Pick a room in your house. Obviously, you always pick the biggest room. Pick a room in your house. You cannot pre-build. You're going to build on stream. Pull the stuff together. But you can customize it ahead of time. You can kind of have a mental layout. You can do all that, but you can't pre-build. Mind you, he's doing amazing things over on, what's the DLC?
Happy Home.
Happy Home. So, like,
if it was Happy Home, would have been it.
So, like, he already had, like, the building abilities. He already knew how to, like, put the walls and do this and do that. So he has the abilities, y'all. Got the abilities.
Alas,
what was your Grant build? What was it called? Grandma's house?
Grandma's house. It was Grandma's house. Big Grandma's house now. And it was a nice grandma's house. It was a little bit cramped.
Hold on.
Grandma might have been shoulder to shoulder going down the hallways, but it was grandma's house.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Oh, you're not gonna show all the houses.
The ceremonial drop.
So let's see. Let me see if I can. Cause I was supposed to have this together, but we're gonna do on the fly. Cause that's what we do over here. Let's pull this over. I was able to grab one of the clips. The full video of my build is on my YouTube. I was like, what am I clicking on? Let's add this. This is a clip from Grant's channel. No capture. Not the Discord. Where is it at? It's not there. Discard. Yeah, that's weird. Alright, so we're just gonna have to display capture. And that's alright, because you know what? We do things on the fly here. Right? That's what we do.
But sometimes it does make you lose Animal Crossing building competitions.
Yeah, don't do things on the fly. Alright, here we go. So this is clip number 1.
The ceremonial drum and a picture of our ancestors, because this is where we celebrate our ancestors right here, okay? We got the libations for our ancestors. Because you got to respect where we have come from so they can talk to us and lead us to where we are going. All right? Take a moment and digest that, y'all.
You done?
No.
Okay, so that's one. Let's pull up one more clip real quick.
Moving on to the next part. Above the fireplace is more black excellence. Okay. We got Biggie. We got MLK. We got Obama, OBC, as I like to call him. We got Malcolm X, and we have Tupac. All right there over top of our of where we take our time to greet our ancestors. Okay. Now we come over to the corner, to the right side. We're still in the living room. We got our 2 fish and 5 food, because we like to feed our people. When you come to my house, you are going to be fed and you are going to be loved. 2 fish, 5 loaves, we feed the masses here, okay? Yes. Moving on.
There we go. So, doop. Are we back? No. What am I doing? There we go. All right. So that's a little snippet of that moment in time of Black History Month build.
To be honest, since those Animal Crossing builds, that ended my Animal Crossing career. Since then, I didn't want to pick up the stakes. Animal Crossing was already getting dry to me. But after that, since I lost in a game that there is essentially no competition, we made the competition. Yeah. I was like, nah, I had to put this down. And from that moment forward, I was like, you know what? Yeah, Animal Crossing, you're gonna have to wait until there's another DLC. Because Fangirl, my nemesis, stole the joy away.
Prime time. Welcome in. I appreciate you. Yes, and that's how Grant became my Animal Crossing nemesis. during these build-offs. It's 2-0 with me in the lead. It wasn't pretty, that one, especially since that build was like, that was an immaculate build. Like,
that was a nice build though.
I like really like mentally prepared. I was like, all right, like I gotta have everything. I'm gonna have a spades table. I'm going to have 2 fish and 5 loaves. I'm going to have kente cloth everywhere. Like,
yeah, you see this, and this is like y'all remember the story I just told about the whole Ursa Major versus me Ursa Major thing. That's how I felt. Like, you understand what I'm talking about. Like, I was going Black History Month. Black History Month is grandma's house. It's a vibe, and you went 2 cloves and 5 pieces of bread. You had meaning, like you had symbolism. I ain't go that far.
I had a ceremonial drum.
Ceremonial drums. Like, are y'all hearing this? Y'all hearing this?
I had a Kobe jersey. Like,
I got cooked.
It was ridiculous. Yes.
I think it could.
But it was also all in fun.
Mm-hmm.
We really enjoyed the builds.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. That was during my subathon, so I was super lit.
Yes. Yeah, because in the corner you can see that you had 17 starts.
17 starts, which is, I saw that and I blinked a little bit. I was like, what kind of time was I on?
I don't know what you was doing. Every time I heard about the starts, I'm like, fam, what are you doing?
Lord have mercy.
What were you doing?
Nobody saved me. Nobody saved me. I had to cut myself off.
So that is the story behind our nemesis relationship. It was all
our origin story.
Our origin story. I don't know who's the villain necessarily in this.
Me.
You're the villain?
Because of these 2 losses, yes. I was the cheery-eyed. I was supposed to be the cheery-eyed protagonist, but now I'm like Anakin Skywalker. You took everything from me.
Not you being Anakin.
But now I'm coming back. On my Vader shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming back on Vader.
Nah, fam. Nah.
That's crazy. Just to say, nah, that's a declaration. It don't matter. I'm coming back as Vader.
Okay, but I mean,
have them dropping Animal Crossing DLC tomorrow. We gonna be playing the next week because I'm trying to catch you slipping.
But you won't, because what's gonna happen again? What's gonna happen again?
I'm gonna prepare. I'm gonna have a whole Rocky montage.
You gonna be frolicking in the water?
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on. Wait, no. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on. Wait, no. Fool us twice, shame on them. Fool on. You get what I mean? Shit.
Yeah, you mean that you ain't gonna prepare yet again. That was gonna happen. You're gonna, especially since like neither one of us has picked up the game in a minute.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to catch you on your heels, you know?
Doesn't matter, because I still know how to bring in the symbolism and appeal to the people. I pluck the heartstrings, but you don't be plucking the heartstrings like I be plucking.
I can. I just with time. I just need to prepare a little bit. I need to think. Get in my backlog. Get in my bag for a second. I wasn't thinking Kobe Bryant, spades table.
I don't
2 loaves and a piece of bread. That was crazy.
I don't know how you ain't think like that. Like Black History Month, Black History, and I made sure I had like the black frames around the pictures. You know, like if you go into to black houses, they always have the black frames around the pictures.
Yeah, you killed it. Nah, you killed it. But the clip said it all. 17 starts in the middle of a subathon. I was distracted.
You were. Listen, and like your subathon, who else is like? There was a couple different people. I think Queen Tanae. There was a few different people. Y'all subathons. I was like, and that is why.
I'll go Queens in a long subathon.
Yeah,
too.
I will never do a subathon because of y'all.
Yeah, I've been in theirs.
We all out of us have the same group of people that support, love, and abuse us, and I know how it's about to be. They abused me when I had a workout subathon. So Y'all ain't gonna do that to me. EMP, what's good?
Queen been on for about three days. She got a maid fit out. She got a maid outfit on. She's cosplaying today. And Tommy, I just popped in hers. Like she doing like her birthday thing. She got 25 hours left.
No.
no.
Listen, I
listen. That's light because you know they be doing that stuff regularly.
That is also
true. I used to as well. So that's why I kind of was like, it didn't feel too crazy in the moment of doing it, just because it was kind of like something I was gonna be doing regardless.
That's
I was
true.
Gonna be up playing video games, you know.
Yeah.
But I guess with Twitch, you know, I was able to, I guess, you know, capitalize off of building a platform as well. So it was a little bit different.
Yeah.
But
versus me, 12-hour streams are only a specialty stream. That's.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
12 hours take a lot out of you.
Twitch anniversary and a birthday stream. Those are the only times
yeah.
that I do 12 hours. After that, 2 hours make that you might got me. That's it.
Shoot, my last couple streams, before my last couple streams been, I checked like maybe 3 hours, 4 hours max, and I used to stream 12 hours, 20 hours.
I would say hey, then I would go to sleep, wake up. Hey.
Yeah, still here. Yo, it was good. Oh yeah, I've been talking about whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Like I went to sleep and got back up. So, besides the Animal Crossing defeat, what is the funniest moment that happened while streaming and content creation? I know SB is good at pulling people during their embarrassing times and maybe even making a song about it. But for you,
I'd say my most hilarious moment probably honestly I got a lot of hilarious moments, but my most hilarious moment probably comes from the Pounds of Sounds Network, where Pounds of Sounds Network was this mechanism that I created during the subathon where I was just really lit, and Snap Camera, free program, has all of these different screens and covers that you could add onto your camera. So I found this news one, and I found this wolf one, and I found this one that was like a rocket ship blasting off, and I found this rotating heads one. And throughout the subathon, it would just be like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. when I'm just super lit and tired, and I just can't like keep my brain on any constant topic. And I would just mess around with the Snap cameras, and I would just make shows. Like it would just be like an Adult Swim experience. And my favorite thing would be like I got like a raid, maybe let's say like a couple minutes before, 30, 45 minutes, and then you're hearing all these explosion, wolf sounds, this and that. You hear me screaming, and then someone comes in the middle of the night, like they woke up from the raid, and they're like, "Yo, where am I? What are we doing? What's going on?" But then they sit there for a little bit, and they'll be like, "Nah, I gotta fucking this. I like this. So, you know, it became a thing where like Pounds of Sounds Network, I can't think of anything specifically besides, I guess, when I really started to do like Get Off the Leash, like seriously, and I was playing this song called like I Had to Get Off the Leash. And I started to make the skits off of like who Wolf Sounds is, and like I started to really define these characters in the Pound for Sounds Network. And there was just this one time where like the wolf was just like, "We unstoppable, we unmovable, nothing can stop our energy, nothing can stop our focus." Oop, tennis ball. And then I went and I grabbed the tennis ball, and the first time I did that, I remember it felt so good, and I laughed so much to myself. Like it was so funny, and just stuff like that is, I feel like the type of improv comedy that I love to bring to the Twitch space. Like it's just it's something, honestly, like you were saying, akin to what SB does. Like that improv is just something that I love too much. Yeah.
Nah, like those like quality improv moments where it's just it comes together and be like,
yeah.
Or like when something wild happens on stream, like falling off a chair, and you make it work.
Oh my gosh!
Listen,
yeah,
I had a whole fire. I had a fire. Okay.
That's definitely runner-up. I'd say spinning and falling off the chair is for sure runner-up, because I guess as ironic as it is for what it was like falling, I guess the ripple effects of that fall, colloquial speaking, had long-lasting effects to like what happened in like the Twitch space, to where Like, you know, I was doing my thing and having fun or whatever, but because I spun and fell, that clip was watched maybe in that span of a day. I watched that clip be played on like 5 or 6 platforms, maybe even. I might be lessening that just because I don't want to think about how much it made me cringe to watch me fall that much. But like, I saw that clip get played a ton, and it was SB, and a lot of people in BTC. But like, the big thing is just because people saw that clip be played in other people's stream, then I would come into someone else's stream and they'd be like, "Oh my God, Grant was good. Oh, chat, did y'all see this clip yet?" And then they would play it for them too. And I'm like, "Oh my God, like I can't even say hi to niggas without them." Sorry, I can't even say hi to people without them even like saying without them bringing this up. So it was a hilarious moment. But from that came Grant Grounds, which became Grant Pounds, which became Grant Down, which became Grant Hound, which became Grant Owl, which became Grant Wow. So like, so many Grant names literally came from that moment. Like, yes. That's when the whole like Grant some random thing really came to be, to where there's a million freaking Grant names people have thought of. Shout out to Hans, because Hans have thought of he's thought of some really.
Okay. Oh, we got a raid. Well, first off, welcome in Nine Passion. I see you there. Maybe Sarah said hi. What was you doing? What was you over there playing? I saw you when you went live, but I was over here doing something, so I couldn't go over there and say hi to you. Welcome in, Raiders. I appreciate you. It was just chatting. What was you over there chatting about? I appreciate you for being here. Hey, what was you chatting about? I saw you went live, but I couldn't click over. So I hope you are doing amazing over there. Such an amazing streamer. Definitely, y'all go check her out. Type in my next blog post and chatting. Yes, love it. Love it. Y'all go check her out, because she's so much fun. She's hilarious. I really enjoy watching her. She interacts so well with her chat. I am over here interviewing Grant Sounds, my Animal Crossing nemesis.
I'll be doing things.
You be doing things. You're actually my first nemesis. I have 3 nemesis now.
That's crazy. Just racking up the nemesis.
I know. But I only have. But you were my first, so you should feel special.
Is it Nemesis?
Nemesis.
Nemesis? Okay, that yes. Sounds unreal. But we gonna go.
Oh, I looked it up because I was like, "What's the plural?" Because that's when I had 2. I was like, "What's the plural?"
I got about 4 nemesis.
Yeah.
Nemesis.
Nemesis. So I was like, I need to know what's the actual plural, since I now have more than one.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And they're all like video game streaming related too.
Me personally, I would keep my nemesis down to 1 or none, but you know, it is what it is.
Nah, I think I want to rack up as many as possible.
That's crazy. Maybe you are the villain. Maybe you are the villain. Maybe you are. I don't know. Maybe you are.
Listen, why so many? Listen, so Grant, you know what I'm saying? He all thought he was going to be amazing at Animal Crossing build-offs, but you know, I destroyed him. But we're still.
Yeah, I got bodied, y'all.
Yeah, we're still a nemesis. We're still battling it out. We'll be forever locked in battle over Animal Crossing builds.
Yes.
And then that dude Scoob, you know what I'm saying? He be cheating at Beat Saber, so he became my nemesis there. And Don Deuces, he put a hit out on me in The Sims, and then my character killed him instead and kept killing him no matter how many times they tried to get him to kill me. And so he became my nemesis. That's how I got 3. So we'll see who I pick up this year. I seem to pick up 1 every year or so.
That's a pretty modest growth for a villain such as yourself.
Yeah, just one a year.
1 nemesis a year, not too bad. So many nemesis.
those are supposed to be chill games that have you raging battles. That is true. You know what? They are supposed to be like cozy games or fun game, and yet epic battles become part of them. Oh,
We're playing Animal Crossing Battle Royale.
listen, it happens. It happens.
It does happen.
It happens. So with that in mind, like, what are you playing right now? Like, what are you playing? Anything? Do you have time to play anything?
I'm playing strictly GTA.
Okay.
Grand Theft Auto 5M. Shout out Midnight City, and Overwatch 2. Yeah, those are the two games I play. Midnight City and Overwatch 2.
I downloaded Overwatch 2, but I have yet to actually play it.
Yeah, I'd say like Overwatch. Like there's always like some first-person shooter that I'm playing, right?
Yeah.
Overwatch is just like there's such an abundance. So my cat wants to say hi. There's such like an abundance of characters that like there's something for everyone. This is
Aww.
my oldest, Mona. Does she
Hi,
look angry?
Mona.
Hi.
A little. She's like, fam, put me down. What are we doing?
You feeling okay? You want to go on TV? There you are. What you have to see? Yeah, she's like,
No.
put me down. You have anything to say to people? No? Here. Be gone.
Be gone.
Run along, child.
Nah, she's not trying. So you said Overwatch 2 and
Grand Theft Auto, yeah.
Grand
Those are
Theft
like the
Auto.
main two. I just downloaded just like a couple random games. Oh, also Played Up. I've been playing Played Up with some friends of mine. That's been really fun.
so
too.
what you're saying is you ain't invite me to play Played Up. That's
Oh
my
my god, you have Played Up too?
Yes,
Oh,
I have
gotta
Played
play
Up.
it. That game is so fun. And there's a mod that you can increase the amount of people you can have in the kitchen. So like add that mod, you can have up to like 12 people in the kitchen.
That's
It's
in-
so chaotic.
That is beyond
so
chaos. Like
Yeah.
it's chaotic with just a couple people. So I
It's
can
so
only
fun, though.
imagine
It's so fun.
the
Because then you're trying to shuffle by people like shoulder to shoulder and like yeah, it gets to be really, really fun.
I only can imagine the madhouse. I've been playing Cozy Grove. Have you heard about this game?
Cozy Grove.
Yeah, it's a very cute, cozy game. Definitely, almost like an Animal Crossing vibe. You're a spirit scout, and you're like helping these spirit bears remember who they are. But it's you can't it's like Animal Crossing. You can't rush anything. Like
just gotta
whatever
take
you
your
do
time.
for the day that's it. Like there's no you're like,
Right.
well, I gotta come back tomorrow.
Mhm.
So that's actually a fun game. Are there games coming out that you want to play? Like what's coming out for you? Like what's on your list?
I can't say there is for real. Like to be honest, I can't say there's like a game that like oh my god, like I really want to play this. I won shout out to Disobey. I won a Steam Deck
Ooh.
a giveaway a couple weeks ago, and I've just kind of been waiting to get my hands on that so I can play all my Steam games in my bed. But other than that, yeah, I'm not like, oh yeah, I want to play this game, I want to play that game, or like this game is coming out soon. I'm like, no, I just be playing the games that I play for real.
Yeah. No, I understand
Are
that.
there any games that you're looking forward to?
Of course, Sons of the Forest,
Oh yeah, true.
because like that's me. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh yeah, there's that sequel coming out, right? Or the remake. Yeah.
It's like it's the first time game. It's not a remake. It's
It's the first one.
yeah.
I thought that was a recreation of like an old game.
No,
I might be
it's
thinking of another game.
yeah. It's because like there's the movie, and they're finally making a video game about it. So I just be checking out the Discord to see what they got going on. Personally, be like, oh, seeing how the developers are moving along with everything. Those are like the main ones. Obviously, Zelda, because like,
oh yeah, I can't wait for Breath of the Wild too.
who doesn't love Zelda?
Oh yeah.
I really enjoyed Breath of the Wild. So
Yeah, Breath of the Wild was really, really fun. That's one I'm like really excited for, but it's kind of like, in order to protect my heart, there are certain games that I'm kind of like, when it comes out, because like they're not giving no information, they're not giving no hints as to what the story is looking like, they're not giving no trailers, nothing. So I'm like, you know what? If you're gonna starve me out, Nintendo, I'ma just act like it ain't a big deal until it comes, and then I'll be a giddy child.
Yeah.
When it's in my hands, I'll be like, yay! But right now, it's like it's alright. When it comes, you know. Like,
because you know how Nintendo is, they're gonna be like nothing, and then be like, you get that email the day before, hey, FYI, we're having a direct about this.
Yep.
Be there, and all of a sudden they're like, and this is what we got going on, and they just keep like smacking you with stuff.
Yep.
And they're like, and you can pre-order it now. Oh wait. So it's like,
yeah, that I love when they do that. Like they give a trailer, I'm like, yeah, and this thing is out right now. Like go and get your phone, download it. Like,
download it now.
Immediately. That's actually I love that so much.
Yeah, they don't necessarily always have to make you wait or a couple weeks from now, Alex. They'll be like, no.
Yeah.
FYI,
I remember when
get it.
The Splatoon 3 trailer came out, and that exact thing happened where they released the Splatoon 3 trailer after a long time. They were like, yeah, the playable demo is out right now. I was like, what? Hold on. Whoa, slow down, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Y'all just dropped this bombshell on me and said you have the experience right now. Like, chill out.
And then they'll be like, and moving along to blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. And then they just calmly move on.
Like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Listen. So, with that in mind, if you could design your own game, what would it look like?
My game would be a life sim of an artist. That's what mine would be. Kind of like Sims. If you ever heard the game Sims Herbs, that's like one of my favorite Sims games.
Okay.
It would kind of be like a life simulation game / RPG / builder game where you could like design houses and maybe cars and maybe like parks and things like that. But inherently it's kind of just, you know, you could live out the human experience and make choices that like implicate individual's life. Essentially, I'm describing The Sims, which is crazy. I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
yeah, it would be The Sims, but like add like a first-person shooter element to it. Like I would still want it to have like a first-person, third-person shooter feel, where like it feels like Grand Theft Auto, basically. Just take Grand Theft Auto and The Sims together. I'm basically describing 5M. Yeah, my game would be 5M. Yeah, basically. That's probably why I play it so much. I think one thing that I enjoy is multiplayer experiences.
okay.
But also I enjoy experiences where I'm designing things. But also I enjoy experiences that are inherently competitive and like have to do with some sort of like game, you know? So like building things and growing is inherently fun, given that, you know, you can receive things or receive recognition off of that growth.
Yeah.
And then also I find things that have like gacha, even though some people hate gacha stuff, like, you know, like you could like open a random box and get loot boxes and stuff. I kind of like that element as well. So all those things considered, and also obviously like decision-making games that implicate down the line effects. So like you say yes or no to someone, and then like changes the storyline, or the storyline go this way or that way. Like I think all of that stuff combined into one game would be my favorite. And honestly, it sounds like Sims mixed with Grand Theft Auto, mixed with Animal Crossing, mixed with maybe a little bit of Apex, I guess. Yeah.
So with this Apex, Animal Crossing, Sim, Grand Theft Auto game,
yes,
will there be fishing?
Yes, absolutely. That's like my thing. So like when I'm playing an RPG game, I fall into certain archetypes every single time. So like whenever I play RPGs, I typically choose the archer class. And if there's ever an RPG game where you have different games, or different classes that you could choose, like recreational stuff, I usually choose fishing. That's like my one. Yeah, I love
Listen,
fishing.
I'm the same way. If you tell me I can be an angler, I will be an angler. I will be the fisherman. That's always my choice. When I did a one-shot D&D game, I was a fisherman. I was like a warrior fisherman with the Pegasus. Whatever.
Shoot, give me a chance to. No, that sounds sick.
Yeah,
Shoot,
her name was Calypso, and now like that's always gonna be my character. Her background story is always gonna be some type of fisherman, something or another, and I just tweak her to play other games, but usually quick one shot because I don't have commitment ability to do anything more than that. But yeah, always gonna pick fishing games. So every time I ask this question of what people are gonna design, the question always gonna be, will it have fishing?
Give me the fishing experience without smelling or touching fish every time.
Oh, see, I also like fishing in real life.
Oh, I love fishing in real life, but I also hate the side effects of fishing, the smelling of fish and the scales and all that. Yeah.
Listen, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Are you going to play Final Fantasy 16? That comes out this year, I believe.
To be honest, I apologize to all Final Fantasy fans. I don't think I've never beaten a single Final Fantasy game.
I've only ever beaten one that was 15. So I came in late too. I will watch people play it, but I didn't like the turn-based fighting, so I didn't start playing until 15 when it was action.
Yeah, kind of like how you have foods that you are a fan of, and like, or you aren't a fan of, and then you become a fan of more. I used to hate turn-based RPGs, like JRPGs, but now I love JRPGs. That's something that happened recently. I think it was actually because I played Dragon Quest.
Okay.
I played the new one on Switch, and I just had a blast. And then I also played Octopath Traveler on Switch as well, and that was really fun. So like, I guess it's kind of like if there's a JRPG that gives turn-based style, but maybe adds a little bit of a twist, so it's not just like this turn I do this paralyzes this guy, and then next turn my guy's gonna do this and attack him, and then they're gone, and then there's this 15-second cutscene of like the experience that we got. Like, it just gets so monotonous,
Yeah.
Like after a while it gets tiresome. So I completely understand.
Yeah.
Completely understand.
When I look for my JRPGs, it better be action fighting.
Oh yeah, that's why I love the Tales series by Square Enix, like Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Vesperia, because it's like it's not really turn-based. It's like you have your squad, but you're moving around, like you're doing moves. And it's more so like automation control than it is turn-based. Yeah, I like automation control. Like that's give me like AI people I gotta control. I love games like that.
Yes.
That's my favorite.
Hey Prince, welcome in.
What up, Prince?
Yeah, no, definitely is a heavy hitters episode. But yeah. So then I brought this up. Oh, it was on somebody's stream. Never mind. Ys 8. That's on the Switch, and Ys 9. Yeah, well, like literally just YS. Ys 8, and then Ys 9. Those are very good games. I actually want to go back and play the ones before it, but 9 came out, I don't know, maybe 2021. I forget when 8 came out. So if you like those games, I highly recommend it.
I've never heard of it before.
Yeah. I think it's definitely like a JRPG that only people in Japan know about. They just, small like cult following.
JRPGs have such like a tragic repetition to all of them. You have a red-haired protagonist, or a blue-haired side character, or it's vice versa, and they are a yin and yang, two complete opposites.
Yeah.
One is good, another is bad. There's always a teacher that is supposed to be a person that guides them, that either dies early and is evil or dies early and their body gets taken somehow and they become evil. And then my favorite is the parent that is a god or deity that the protagonist never knew about. It's like, yeah, did you know your dad was a dragon?
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. Like,
well, that is G's 8 right there. And 9. Yeah.
Did you know your pops is a dragon? Surprise. Now you know.
FYI. Okay, so what are your
That's
thoughts
how Naruto found out.
on the
What'd you say?
What are your thoughts on the gaming industry currently? And what are your thoughts on where it's going? Do you like it? Do you agree with it?
I'll say this.
Okay.
When I was in Clubhouse, there were rooms for everything, for anime, for comics, for gaming. And because of how rare of an experience Clubhouse was in its beta stages, it gave you the ability to become directly connected to individuals who had a large amount of power. So I met a lot of people. Like, I met the CEO of Twitch, who was on there doing gaming rooms on Fridays where he had like hot take rooms. I met a ton of other people who did different networks and stuff by me just like speaking my mind in these spaces. But the most common thing that they would ask is like, you know, why is esports not as prominent as it is, and why is gaming not like as I guess as big as it should be in like a main stage? And as funny as it is, these things have only changed in the matter of time that like I've been an influencer, and mainly the change is because there just weren't enough cool people in the space of prominence. And in this time, like in these years' time, we're seeing a more prominence of like Berlisi showing up in physical spaces. You're seeing Kai showing up in you're seeing Kai show up in AMP Kai showing up in Lil Uzi's music video for like a new song. You're seeing RDC World who's on the red carpet with the Black Panther release, and who's in videos with J. Cole. So you're seeing a lot more of these influencers who are in anime and video games gain a lot more popularity, and with that, these influencers aren't really based where it's like, oh, I'm just like good at the game. Before it was like you had this kid who was sweaty at Call of Duty who was able to rack up a ton of kills, and that was this gaming league's best guy. And whether that kid was racist, whether that kid was a womanizer, whether that kid was anything, they had to ride with their talent because that was their talent. They were going to win him. That talent was going to win them competitions. But now, more so, people desire a character, and especially with it, that's why you're seeing a lot of these organizations are starting to upheave a lot of these individuals, because sometimes talent isn't worth it if the character is bad and will end up being a liability to the entire group itself. So I think what I'd say my biggest take with the gaming industry is that with the influx of more characters, more people who are willing to be personalities beyond skills in competitive gaming, we will see a transformative sense of new celebrities coming out of the anime space, where these people can rival the popularity of rappers, of actors, because of how much people are consuming this content.
Yeah. And
we're starting to see that literally right now. So everybody who got into this game during the pandemic, who really got started, like they really made in at the perfect time, because anybody trying to get in now, especially after 2023, it's going to be heavily capitalized, heavily mercantilized, to the point where like even just me trying to consume people's content today, like I could tell if something is forced or not, like from just a glance. I can immediately tell, and my brain will be like, yeah, you gonna scroll past this, homeboy, we not even gonna eat this up. Yeah. We might like it because we homies with him, you know what I'm saying? So it's like at a certain look, I'll give the I mess with you, like, but I'm still not gonna watch the content. I'm just being real, you know.
That's
so it's just like at a certain point, with more of that happening, then we're looking to see a lot more evocation of the physical space of anime and these spaces. So these spaces have always existed. There's always been parties in anime. There's always been video game conventions and stuff like that. But now these spots are going to start looking like clubs, where you're going to start seeing people showing up in chains and people starting to look like celebrities, like rappers and stuff like that, in that colloquial sense of like flex culture, which will be a cancer in itself. But I think with specific characters in the place, I think it'll find balance. So I think gaming culture, to where I first got in like 2020, it was kind of like there was just a lot of no names who were doing a lot of things, and then they were getting ousted for a lot of things that I feel like I don't even need to say, but you guys can assume like they would get quote unquote canceled for. And then you have down the line, now you're getting this prominence of like people who are more so personalities. But now, in kind of like, if you think of the Libra scale, since you have people with no personality for so long, and then you have this influx of personalities to balance that, now we're falling into a place where people are like too much personality and not enough content, So it needs to balance out somewhere, where we're in the middle. Because one thing I realize is that there are a lot of people who can just connect themselves to certain individuals because they know these certain individuals are popping, and give themselves the semblance that they are also popping, or they also produce content when they don't. they're just an entity around.
Yeah.
So I guess the gaming space will grow. I guess my final thing is just the gaming space will be growing a ton, like a ton. And it is a super lucrative field. But I think people should keep an eye out for the specific people that they support and the specific energy that they let be uplifted in this space, given that since the pandemic, the status quo has been, if it's popular, the mass will follow and copy.
True.
So if everyone's going to be copying, we just want to make sure it's something that's healthy, something that's productive, and it's not like, like a lot of stuff we've gotten in the past, like podcast culture, where we have people still to this day talking about, are you going to split the check with your significant other at the date? Like, it's 2023. We got to put some stuff to rest. Yeah.
Are you splitting the check? No, I'm just joking.
That's what I'm saying. It's just crazy. It's crazy. So, like, I guess my big thing was just the gaming industry is just a lot of stuff has become monotonous, super monotonous, to the point where it's even become it's become performative for me to do things that at once seemed authentic, because of how many people try to replicate that authenticity to the point where it makes my authenticity look and feel inauthentic. So to that end, it's kind of just like, have fun doing what you want to do, but shit, these trends change drastically. That's just the gaming industry now. Like, just trends are always changing, always moving, always flying around. And all we can do is just do stuff that feels good to us, and hopefully people support it because it feels the same way to them. Simple as that.
That's true. That's very true. Just be true to yourself. Stay in what you enjoy. Just be honest.
I wish there was some sort of like get rich quick scheme or some sort of formula that you can use to capitalize, because that's actively what I do now, like kind of in branding, where I help manage a couple people's different like brands and help them apply themselves week to week through strategy meetings. But even in that, it's kind of like me analyzing their content and how they go through the process in terms of like mastery of their own content. Like, it's not me telling you like, okay, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. Like, only in preparation of the brand does it seem like that. But after that point, it's really just a whole lot of just figuring it out. So there really isn't a clear and concise answer as much as a lot of people think. And I feel like that's something that stifles a lot of people's movement as well, So the gaming industry, I feel like it's anyone's game if you really want it to be.
No, for sure. Like, the potential's there. Just go for it.
Yeah, like it's funny. Like, I went to North Carolina for Christmas, and I got to see my cousins. And my cousin has this really dope studio in North Carolina where he has a huge setup. He has a DJ deck, and he has a desk for producing, and a desk just to use the computer. And it has like Elgato key lights and a whole camera setup for and stuff like that. And I was like, bro, have you done a stream yet? And he was like, nah. Like I still want to figure out this. I still want to figure it out. I want to figure out this. I want to form this. And I think especially older folks, and not to say older folks is like older folks, but like he's maybe in his like 40s, maybe 40s or 50s. But I'd say like older folks, if you're above 21, like no, I'm serious. Like older folks, like if you're above 21, if you reach the age where like I'm outside of college and I'm figuring out my life, but like I just have like a job, right? Or like I'm just trying to figure out my life path, where it's kind of like that like vicarious moment for anybody where it could just be anything. Like I feel like a lot of people think they have to have this deep level of preparation in order to get something done, in order to like put things out. And in a lot of ways that preparation often stifles the authentic feeling of movement that could potentially solve a lot of those issues of like what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Like, you know, a lot of times the answer is just to figure it out in the moment. But because some people have this thought of like they have to have this stuff prepared, it just never comes out. So I was like, bro, just stream. Like literally just stream. And the people who come into the stream will tell you what they want to see. And so I think, you know, just the game has changed a lot, where before it was kind of like everyone was sold what we should consume, or we were told what we should consume. Yes. But now that we have the autonomy of consuming either this or that, X, Y, Z, or 1, 2, 3, it takes a lot more mental focus in order to be like, this is what I enjoy, this is what I desire. And even beyond that, on a content creator's perspective, to look at the niche environment you're in and be like, this is what these people want, and this is how I'm going to provide it. And I think that's what the gaming industry is changing towards right now, which is why you're seeing a lot of these wild things happen, because people less want bells and whistles and they more want an experience. So the people who are willing to provide that are the ones who are being uplifted.
Yeah. So, like, what are your thoughts on, like, the indie games, like, how they're moving?
I think indie games will forever just be goated, because it's interesting. Like back in the day, indie games used to be this thing where it's like, you know, it's an indie game. It's like, this is a fun game, but it's an indie game, so it's gonna have some like janks in it. There's gonna be some issues here, some bugs here. It's gonna be of lesser quality than a AAA game. But now, because of a lot of these like achievements in software, and the raw, I guess I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but just the ability for people just to get these assets online and like do these things not for free, but just to not have to work with a large studio to get this production done. You have the same level of quality, even better in indie games than you do in other games. Like, I mean, if you want to take account like Stray won awards this year, and that was an indie studio. Like, that was a couple people that made that game, and it won over AAA games. Like, that means that game was really, really good. And also it means that, you know, you don't have to have a lot of the different grand things, kind of akin to what I was saying before in the other point, but just on the industry's perspective. Like, you know, you don't really need to have all the bells and whistles in order to cash in anymore, you know? It's more so just having the quality idea.
Exactly. Quality idea and executing it well. So whether you're a content creator, a developer, etc., that's really what it's all about. Okay, so I have a very hard question for you. Here we go. What is your favorite video game? Excuse me. Your favorite game of all time? Because that could be a tabletop game. It can be a card game. It could be a board game. It could be anything. Favorite game of all time?
That's such a hard one.
Yes.
That's such a hard one.
If you need to have like a top 5, you can do a top 5, because some people haven't been able.
I'll give these options. If we want to talk about individual adventure experience, like adventure game where like you're running around beating up monsters, trying to go from level to level, Billy Hatcher on the Sega. I got that game from Blockbuster, and that game was just a classic.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, like I found it at Blockbuster, and the soundtrack was amazing. The sound effects was amazing, and it just had these cute little monsters that I love so much. And the multiplayer was so fun. Like that couch multiplayer that game had, me and my friends played for hours.
Yeah.
For hours. If it has to be like a simulator game, then I would have to say Harvest Moon. Especially Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life for the GameCube. That was probably like my first introduction to that. What were you saying?
No, I said okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was like my first introduction to like those farming type games. But like those but like Harvest Moon also had that like romance aspect where like you could choose a wife to marry and you had to like court her by like giving items. It was very much the prototype of what Stardew Valley is. So like that game kind of put me on to that entire realm of what those games were. And then if we want to talk about multiplayer experience, easily, I gotta give it a Halo 3. Like Halo 3 came out Halo 3 came out at a time when I was like in middle school, and that game just, it just hit different because all my friends were playing it. You would go online and it would just be 24/7, like people playing. I played that game till odd hours in the morning, and I just love that game. And then lastly, designer games. Come on now, you know what my answer finna be: Animal Crossing. So, those are my choices. Those are
your choices. Okay. All right. No, those are good ones. I appreciate those. Okay. So, what would you say to someone who's first starting out their streaming or content creation journey?
Focus less on design and focus more on experience. Look at what niche audience that you are stepping into, and seek out to find what kind of experience that they would like when coming to your stream. To be less vague about that, what I'm saying is talk to them instead of just playing the game. I think that's just a big thing that a lot of early on streamers fall into, that like once they hit that starting soon screen and then they hit the whatever, that like they're like, yo, if I don't play video games, people are gonna leave. Like, no, it's actually the opposite. If you start playing video games, people are gonna leave.
If I come into your chat and I say, hey, what's going on, and you don't acknowledge me, and it's been 10 minutes, I have already, by the time you acknowledge me, I'm already gone. They're like, fangirl's gone.
Exactly. That's the catch-22 of streaming, where a lot of people think that they're like, oh, they're coming, so I gotta play this game. Like, yo, if you hyper-focus on that game, or like, oh, people want to see this gameplay, you're shooting yourself in the foot. They came to see you play the game and provide them with the experience that you, in tandem, are walking them through how you feel in the present moment. So it's not just about them seeing you, it's you providing them all the senses. And that takes a lot more than just showing them the screen, or even just mouth open playing a video game while you're like live, you know? So, you know, I think a lot of people like it, just kind of seek out this this thing where it's like, okay, I'll go live and I'll do this, but you know, I usually challenge people, if you just started streaming, start with 15 minutes of just chatting at the beginning of stream and work up to an hour. By the time one works up to an hour, typically one is prepared to handle large crowds of however many size, because that just shows that, you know, you're confident enough to hang out with your community, and you have a core amount of people that were willing to conversate with you in an hour, where you know, it's not even on level ground. That's what like really surprises me about Twitch. Like, you know, it's like me having the ability to speak and everyone else having less ability to communicate, but people still actively choosing to communicate that way because you're providing experience. Like, that's something that I feel honored to like about a lot, like but it's really just because that's just like the backwards way that I think of it, but it's really just like you know, people want something, so obviously providing them that experience is a lot less than like, I'm just gonna shove this in people's face and hope that they like it. It's something that has to be figured out. So the easiest way to figure that out is through conversation. Simple as that.
Oh, it's true. It's true. Seti, what's good?
What up,
Seti
Seti?
Mac, how are you doing? I appreciate you for stopping in. So.
Go pre-save Seti's new EP.
I love it.
Coming out soon. Lost Light.
So, any additional thoughts or comments? We are coming to the end. Anything that additional you would like to say for the people in the chat? You can check out.
I'm happy to be here.
Amazing streamer Grand Sounds at the following link. I appreciate you for being here.
I appreciate you, Fangirl. I gotta say, you're one of my day ones for sure.
Aww.
Like, you've been here since I was a small streamer. Like, I gotta say, like literally off of that energy, like, I just love it here, quite frankly. And I apologize if there's times ever that people are like, yo, like, Grant was like doing all this stuff and then he like vanished. Like, that's just like my inner avatar where, you know, when things don't feel right, instead of burning myself out like we talked about before, I choose to take a step back from spaces, not in terms of like self-isolation, but really just I just be on my hermit-ish, and sometimes I kind of gotta replenish my tank, and then I can get back out there. And sometimes I realize once I got back out there, I don't even like what I had before, and I want to raise the whole thing and then rebuild it from the ground. So in a lot of ways, I give everyone else grace as much as people give me grace. So I guess the biggest thing that I would say is that Grant in 2023 still fully intends on achieving partner, but when Grant feels like he wants to be on Twitch, not the other way around. I think that's just the realest thing. And I think in 2022, because of the things that I obsessed about things way too much, specifically because of the fervor of support that I was receiving. So, you know, in a lot of ways, that never left. That never changed. It just more so was something that I had to forgive, in a lot of ways, the system that I was a part of, in order to really see it for what it is and be like, all right, now we can really conquer this. Now we can really take this apart and have fun with it, because we know truly what it is. Because I guess the last thing that I will leave with is that consumption of content is seasonal, and through this you can see how people will come in and leave different spaces. And given that there are certain times to do things, and there are certain times to not do things. There are certain times that certain games are popular and certain tactics are popular, and there are certain times that certain games and certain tactics aren't popular. And I think the coolest thing that I learned in the seminar recently is you got to learn how to flip before you flop. And that's it. So, you know, straight up, Twitch is a big thing since it's based on viewership. There's so many things at play and so much support that needs to be had in order to get to that level that everybody wants, with that check mark, or even beyond what I desire, which is ambassadorship. So it's like, you know, at a certain point, it's just, you know, to get to those places, it takes time, and it takes a lot more than just you being the greatest streamer. Exactly. It really is an aligning of the stars, for real. So when it happens to somebody, that's just magic. And I've seen a ton of people receive it, which is why I can say that shit casually, where it's like, I ain't even worry about it. We got plans. We got plans for this. We got plans.
See, I love it. That's what I love to hear. Lex Frost, I appreciate you. Bill's with me. Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so as always, we are coming to the end. Grant, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for doing this and sitting down with me. And
so much fun.
You know, taking the verbal beating as my nemesis.
Oh my God. That was a tough time in the interview. I'm not gonna hold you. That was a tough moment. I almost hold on, I got the fake lavalier. I almost like, take this fucking mic. You ever seen somebody walk off the interview?
Yes.
Take this. All you hear is the scuffling.
Yeah, that's...
Take this mic off.
my gosh, you should have did that. That would have been hilarious.
Oh man, I should have.
Yeah.
Should have. Could have. Would have.
Listen. Content creation, okay?
Yeah. Right.
So I dropped the link again for everybody to go follow Grant. He will stream when he is ready and wants to.
I'm gonna be back real soon. Don't worry.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a new.
Turn on those notifications
next month. So.
Oh well, yeah. There you go. No, listen, I understand.
Give me some time.
Yeah. Okay, so here at Gamer Corner, the guest guides the raid. Because we're going to raid out and go support somebody and love on them and uplift them. Who we raiding out to?
I'll go Queen.
Oh, perfect. Let me open her up. I see her category says Jackbox. Let's see if she's actually playing Jackbox.
I'll go Queen. Listen, I gotta say, just in terms of I guess like this community for real, this is something I didn't say, but it's shout out to everybody that I know in this community for real, but shout out to the women in this community, because y'all are really who make me feel comfortable. Like, y'all made Grant as much as I can say, like, oh yeah, like these things were inside of me, like y'all validated Grant enough that it became a physical thing, you know, and I appreciate that. OD. I could list so many damn names, but yeah, shout out to women in this community.
Listen, we gonna love and uplift and support now. She looks so cute in her little maid outfit. Oh my goodness.
Don't she?
And you know, I like to go in her chat and I do that exclamation mark followage, because like I was like, I followed her like day 1, so it was like 2 years, such and such amount of days. And I'm like, yep, because I think there might be like 1 or 2 people who actually have me beat on like that, but like, oh, somebody drop into their followage. Hold on, like let me flex
real quick.
I keep telling her, I was like, listen, I need you to design merch so I can have an OG one, but only I can have it. Nobody else can have it unless they have longer than I do. Those are the only people that can have the OG all girl queen.
Supreme out all girl queen's clothing line.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
And say Givenchy.
Yes. Only me. Only me can have the Gordon Cartrell. Okay, only me.
That's
nobody else.
That's the Telfars. That is the Telfar clothing line of Twitch for real. I would rock the hell out of some all gold queen merch.
Yes, exactly. But like
some all gold merch, that would go.
But
hard.
you don't have the followage as long as I do, so you can't watch.
Yeah, so I can't get the gold. I can't get the gold letters. I just gotta get it.
And then like on the side, it'd be like OG member or something like that.
OG. Yeah.
So like so like only I can have that, and like maybe like a couple other people.
So this is what we finna do. I'm finna steal yours and I'm gonna sell it on StockX for 4 times the price. Yes, that's the plan.
Wow, it'd be your own people.
It'd be your own nemesis. You know what
it is. You see? And that's why he's my nemesis. Y'all right there. That's why he's the villain of the story. See? Y'all thought it was me for a moment there. Nope.
Nah, you still the villain. But this is revenge. This is technically revenge. You know?
It's not revenge.
Technically revenge.
Heroes don't do revenge. Heroes are supposed to be good people. You're not supposed to do all that.
I'm about to flip that for about 7 times the price.
It went 4 times down, 7 times? Yeah. Okay, let me hit this start raid. Gonna take us a couple seconds before we head on over there. But again, Grant, thank you so much for being here. Y'all go follow Grant. Y'all go, let's go love on All Gold Queen. And that is it. Alright guys, bye.
Hold it down. Peace.